Hi, tonight I'm supposed to identify social welfare policies that are in dire need of reform from a state, national, and global perspective. And I have chosen to talk about Department of Public Welfare, housing assistance, and unemployment. And these three agencies, they kind of coincide with each other to some degree. Department of Public Welfare, when people go to apply for Department of Public Welfare, they fill an application, and based on what they put down on the application, they may be found eligible to receive substance, cash subsidies or food stamp subsidies, and sometimes even medical subsidies. When I was looking at the information for Department of Public Welfare, the true design for Department of Public Welfare for cash assistance was supposed to be that the person would truly only supposed to have a limited amount of time that they would come, and then the government would help them until they was able to get back on their feet. The problem that has happened over the years and years of this program being in place and nobody taking a real good look at it until recently, of course, was that it became what they call generational. Every generation, this person may be on Department of Public Welfare, and when their child or son graduate from the high school, they too now apply and get on welfare and get cash assistance and food stamps and things like that. And it's now become what they call generational, people that are on the services for generation after generation. I think that when a person is on the Department of Public Welfare, I think it really robs them of their ability to see how important it is for them to set goals and to reach out for those goals. If they were to be required to maybe go to school, maybe be required to take some type of planning or programming towards being independent of the of the services, I think that would be great. I do think that there are times when people do need help, so I'm all for the help. It's just the abuse and the fraud. That's what I would object to. When it comes to housing, too many times one person will go and apply for housing, and then that person may bring in another person, a boyfriend who, oh, I'm going to come live with you, and of course that boyfriend is working, and then that person don't report that now there's two of them and there's income, and so therefore the person is still receiving subsidy for living in the apartment. That's a form of abuse. And when we look at our paychecks and we see taxes that are being taken out, I think that's what really irritates a lot of people when you see that this much went towards state, this much went towards federal, and then when you ask your congressman, well, where's my money going to, and you see the billions of dollars that are being poured into Department of Public Welfare, and billions of dollars being poured into housing, and then you see the fraud. I think that's what really makes people be irate about it and upset about it, because we're working or they're working and this person is not working, but it it just really makes people upset. Unemployment. I have a lot of sympathy for those who are in unemployment, especially because in today's economy, you'll see that a job will close down and they will move the jobs over to countries where they're paying probably $3, $4 an hour. Whereas if they keep the company here, they'll have to pay somebody maybe $10, $12 an hour. So economically, they see the benefit of their pockets, but they don't see how it's going to be affecting the economy here. So when a person goes on to unemployment, I think there should be a limited amount of times. I think there should be programs offered, educational programs, schooling programs, that sort of things. Maybe even trade programs, I think that they need to be supported. In all cases, poverty is nothing fun. It's nothing glamorous. It's nothing that you are raised to say, hey, when I grow up, I'm going to just, go on welfare and live in housing and don't do nothing with my life. I really don't believe that that is truly anyone's goal. I think in all, though, there is a positive and there's a negative. I don't knock nobody. I don't disrespect nobody who are in need of these services, because who knows, we all may be in need of the program. But let's use the program for what it's designed to do. Let's use it efficiently. Let's use it um, sparingly. Let's use it as what it's supposed to do, which is to help us until we can establish some type of a career or some type of housing or some type of education so that we can be independent of the government. I just think that we can look into the system and we can do better by the system. And I do believe that in all three instances, education plays a role. And I believe motivation plays a role. Goal setting plays a role. But I don't believe that anyone really wants to just sit back and do nothing with their life. Don't want their own house, don't want their own car, don't want their own funds, don't want better than just, I believe, $500-600 a month sent to them, and then that's it. That's not really living. I like to think that people have goals, and I think that whenever they go to apply for these services, I think that's one of the questions that should be ultimately asked. What is the goal? What is your motivation? Where do you see yourself at in a year or 2 years or 3 years? And I think that in the end, by us having a proactive goal setting plan in place for people who are in need, I think that we can help society in a whole. So that's my opinion. Like I said, I have nothing negative to say about people who are on Department of Public Welfare or is on unemployment. My heart really goes out to the people that are on unemployment, and also people are in housing. Housing is very costly. It's very expensive, and but in the end, I know that as a country, I know that we can come together and we can find a solution to help people be independent. That's my opinion.